The rhythmic, terrifyingly fast beep of the cardiac monitor was the only sound in the sterile, blindingly white emergency room. My 7-year-old daughter, Lily, lay on the gurney, her small chest rising and falling in shallow, ragged gasps. Her skin was a terrifying shade of pale blue. The pediatric cardiologist had just delivered the news that every parent fears, a sudden catastrophic arrhythmia triggered by an undiagnosed congenital heart defect. She needed emergency ablation surgery. Immediately, "I need a signature for the transfer to the surgical wing," the nurse said, her eyes tight with urgency. "But the system is flagging her insurance. It's out of network for this specific procedure at this facility." I didn't care about insurance. I was David Chun, the founder of Apex MedTech, the company that had just revolutionized cardiac monitoring software. I had liquidated a massive portion of my stock portfolio that morning. I had the money. I had more money than this hospital made in a decade. "I'll pay out of pocket," I said, my voice trembling but firm. "Transfer the funds. Wire it. I don't care. Just get her into surgery." The nurse hesitated, then nodded, typing furiously. But before she could process the request, the double doors swung open. Enter Richard Vance, the chief administrative officer of St. Jude's Metropolitan Hospital. He was a man who looked like he had been carved out of ice and arrogance. His tailored suit was immaculate, his silver hair perfectly coiffed, and his eyes held the cold, dead calculation of a man who viewed patients as profit margins and liabilities. "Stop the transfer," Vance said, his voice echoing sharply in the small room. He didn't look at Lily. He looked at his tablet. "Mr. Chun, I've reviewed your daughter's preliminary file. Her insurance provider does not have a reciprocal agreement with our cardiac wing for emergency ablations. The pre-authorization alone will take 48 hours. She doesn't have 48 hours. I snapped, stepping between him and the gurney. "She has maybe 4. I am offering to pay the full cost of the surgery right now. $200,000. I can wire it to your finance department in 5 minutes. Just let them operate." Vance actually sighed. A long, patronizing exhale that made my blood boil. He adjusted his glasses and looked at me with a mixture of pity and profound disdain. "Mr. Chun, this is a premier Tier 1 medical facility," Vance said, his tone dripping with bureaucratic condescension. "We do not accept cash payments for emergency surgical slots. It violates our compliance protocols and our network agreements. Furthermore, our surgical team is fully booked. We cannot prioritize an out-of-network patient over our contracted members." "Prioritize," I whispered, the word tasting like ash in my mouth. "My daughter is dying." "Then you should have chosen a hospital within her network," Vance replied coldly. "I suggest you arrange an immediate transfer to County General. They have an open cardiac unit, and they accept all indigent and out-of-network emergency transfers." County General was 40 minutes away in traffic. Lily didn't have 40 minutes. "You're killing her," I said, my voice dropping to a deadly, quiet register. "You are literally killing my child because of a policy." "I am enforcing hospital policy," Vance said, turning his back to me. "Security will assist you with a transfer to County General. Good day, Mr. Chun." "I stood there, my emballé into fisotait my nelket into my palm. He looked at Lily. Her eye fluttered open, as he terrified. "Daddy," she whispered. "Amir, Baby," he shook it out, kissing her forehead. "I'm going to fix this." He walked out of the emergency room. He didn't scream. He didn't throw a chair. He walked down the pristine marble floor hallway, pulled out my phone, and yelled a number he hadn't used in 6 months. "Marcus," he said when the link connected. "It's David. He need you to execute the Vanguard acquisition document. Right now. Yes, the final signature. Do it." He hung up and walked back into the air. Richard Vance was standing at the nurse station, sipping a coffee, chatting with the head nurse. He looked up as he approached, a smug, dismissive smirk playing on his lips. "Monsieur Chen, the ambulance for County General is being prepped." "Richard Vance," he said, my voice cutting through the ambinoise of the air like a scalpel. He blinked, taken aback by my tone. "Excuse me?" He reached into my jacket pocket and pulled out a thick, Lederboon folder. Islam die tonto the nurse station kunte. The sound made the anti-roer stars jump. À off 9 du matin this morning, he said. My voice echoing in the sudden silence. Apex Medtech officially finalise acquisition of the Vanguard Health Network. Vanguard owns Saint-Judes Metropolitan Hospital, which means, as a majority shareholder and newly appointed chairman of the board, he owned this hospital. Vance froze. The coffee cup stopped halfway to his mouth. Ashes eyes darted to the folder, then back to me. The color began to drain from his face, leaving him looking like a wax figure. That is impossible, he stammered, his voice losing its arrogant edge. The acquisition was still supposed to be public until the quarterly meeting next month. You were just a software vendor. I am the majority owner, he corrected him, stepping closer, invading his personal space. And he just watched you d'une emergency, life-saving care to my 7-year-old doctor because of a compliance protocol point. Vance started to shake. He looked at the folder, then at the security guard who had just walked in, summoned by the head nurse. Monsieur Chen, he didn't know, Vance whispered, his voice cracking. If he had known it was your doctor, he would have made an exception. He would have bypassed the protocol. You have to understand, he was just following the rule. You were following the rule, he said, my voice dropping to a shilling, letal whisper. But you forgo who makes the rule. You just told me to send my dying child to a county hospital to protect your profit margin. You looked me in the eye and chose bureaucracy over her life. He turned to the head nurse. Get the surgical team prepped. My doctor goes into surgery in 10 minutes. And get the legal team on the phone. He looked back at Vance. Ashes' face was completely ashen, his eyes wide with a terrifying, hollow realization. He knew what was coming. Richard Vance, you are hereby terminated for gross negligence and violation of the Hippocratic Oath, he said, my voice ranging clear and authoritative through the air. Security, escort him of the promise. Confiscate his badge, his tablet, and his keys. He is not to return to any Vanguard property. David, please, Vance begged, his arrogance until shattered, replaced by the pathetic, trembling desperation of a man who had just lost everything. You have a family. You have a mortgage. Please, I'm begging you. You should have begged for my doctor's life, he said coldly. Get him out of my sight. The security guard grabbed Vance by the arms. He did the fight. Et just then he said, his shoulder shaking as they marched him out the double doors, past a gurney, and out into the cold morning air. 10 minutes later, Lily was wheeled into the operating room. The surgery was a massive success. The lead surgeon, who had been terrified to operate without pre-authorization, personally called me afterward to tell me she was going to be completely fine. The aftermath was swift and absolute. The story of the hospital administrator who treated to the care to the chairman's doctor leaked to the medical board. Richard Vance was just fired. He was blacklisted from the anti-healthcare industry. He lost his license, his reputation, and his career. He is currently working at a mid-level data entry clerk for a logistics firm, a far cry from a powerful C-suite executive he thought he was. After me, he sat by Lily's bed as she woke up, the steady, rhythmic beep of the monitor now sounding like the most beautiful music in the world. Sometimes, people think power is about wearing a tailor suit and quoting policy number. They think it's about controlling the system. But true power isn't about enforcing the rule. It's about owning the system. Richard Vance thought he wasn't too sharp because he held the administrative clipboard. He forgot that in this world, the administrator works for the hospital, but the owner holds the clipboard, and he owns the hospital. He refused to save my doctor. If he read him on the spot, that was justice enough for me.